What do you have to lose? That is the question. What do you have to lose in the next 5 years? What do you have to lose in the next decade if you don't take advantage of the time that you have right now? If you were comfortable in where you're at right now, would life look the same in those 5 or 10 years to come? Or are they going to look worse? That is the problem you are facing right now. That's why you're watching this video. The thing is, you are going to lose things no matter what. Time. Are you going to lose time? Yeah, it's going to pass by no matter what. No one has control of it, and you're going to die someday, straight up. Money. You can always make more money. You can lose it, you can gain it back. That's the thing about a job. And if you learn a high income skill, you're going to be able to do something about that. If you're in a financial situation that's not the greatest, you can turn that around with the right skill sets. Opportunities. They are going to come and go. You probably missed out on a whole bunch of them. That's why you're watching this right now, because you're tired of missing out when everyone else is getting the promotion. Everyone else is getting their money up, and you're over here still rocking a Toyota Corolla. Let's be honest. You don't want that. You want the Benz. You want the Audi. You want the BMW. Well, you're going to have to put in more than what you're doing right now. Relationships. Being in relationships that are, 1, toxic, 2, people that actually aren't going to push you up but actually bring you down. You don't want that. That's why you're here, because you need someone that's actually going to hold you accountable for what you're not doing in life. Making memories, whether it's with family, friends, coworkers, you name it, you're going to lose it. Freedom. You're going to lose freedom too by going out to the clubs, going out to the bars, drinking, doing drugs, having sex with all these different women. That is not going to help you. That is not freedom. That is a prison. Comfort. Going on the couch, watching Netflix, ordering Uber Eats, not controlling what you're putting into your body is actually hurting you. In order for you to switch gears and start making the decisions that are actually going to change your life, you need to flip the switch. You're either going to be a winner or a loser. Loser mentality is escaping life and doing the things that are actually going to give you ease, and that's preventing you from building the life that you want. Seeking pleasure, whether it's all the things that I named before, is preventing you from finding your purpose in life, what you're actually called to do by God and what you've been put on this earth to do for your friends, for your family, for your future wife and children. These things could matter if you find your purpose. Settling in life is what's preventing you from growing. You're not developing more characteristics. You're not developing more techniques and skill sets that are actually going to add value into your life. People aren't going to ask you to help them out or to give you this job service or whatever if you don't actually have the skills to give them something that they want. Procrastinating prevents taking action. By you delaying it and overthinking and overanalyzing, you're preventing yourself from taking action and actually moving forward. You're going to fail. You're going to have to learn while you go. That is the point of taking action. You're going to mess up, but if you fall 7 times, you will get up 8. You will learn from your mistakes and you will do better. Being a victim prevents you from being a victor. Blaming everybody and pointing the finger at everyone and they're the problem and they did this, when in reality, if you accepted what was going on in your life and the circumstances, then you could start making decisions that are going to solve your problem and become a victor. Being poor prevents you from being rich. That's pretty obvious, but let's dive in deeper. You are continuously feeding into your desires. You're buying food that you don't need. You're buying stuff that you don't actually have a use for. Clothes that are way too expensive, when less is more. When you minimize what you're consuming on a daily basis, you're going to add up a lot more hours that you could utilize to building yourself up, to getting your money up and becoming rich. Remaining weak is preventing you from becoming strong. And this is many different factors. We're talking your mindset, your spirituality, and your body. And all these things are in unison when you go to the gym, when you go to church, and when you seek higher education, when you seek knowledge. It's literally in the Bible. If you want to be able to grow in all these aspects, you're going to have to put more time into it. Stop blaming people. and all these other things for your mistakes and start taking accountability. When you do that, you're going to start doing an autopsy on your life and realizing that what you've been doing for the last couple years is actually part of the problem. That it's not everybody else, but it's you. You're the one that's been making the mistakes. You're the one that's making the bad decisions that have led you into where you're currently at right now in your life. Finally, giving up prevents hope. When you quit every time something gets hard, you are not going to grow. You are not going to figure out what actually went wrong and how you can fix it. You give up and you don't realize that you could actually build something, even though it's like broken pieces. You can assemble them back together. Think of it like Legos. Just because a tower crashes doesn't mean you can't rebuild it back up. That's why they build a construction manual, one block at a time. Think of it as your life. Every block is a chapter of your life. Every skill set, every decision you make can be built up, improving your structure and fortifying it. But if you start building it with whatever's laying around and not actually follow the blueprint, you are going to fail. You are going to fall, and you are going to be in the same situation in the next year if you don't start making the right decisions. But all this can be done when you flip the script. You're going to see that when you build, you prevent escaping. When you find your purpose, you prevent seeking pleasure. When you grow, you prevent settling for less. When you start taking action, you will not procrastinate anymore. When you start becoming a victor and start winning, you're going to love winning more, and you're not going to be a victim. When you become rich, you're going to prevent yourself from being poor because you know how to get rich. You've done it once, you can do it again. Even if you lose it all, you can still build it back up. Becoming strong. When you're strong, you prevent yourself from being weak. This is also in many different aspects. When you seek your faith every single day, you're going to be filled with the Spirit. When you seek education, you can grow. No one can steal your knowledge. And your body. When you go to the gym and you train, when you physically put yourself through hard situations, hard sets, where the weight is challenging, when you can only do 4 to 6 or even 6 to 8 reps, you're going to put on lean muscle mass. You're going to be able to control the way your body looks. And if you add that in with a calorie deficit and maybe even some steps with the proper nutrition plan and hydration, you are going to see results. You're going to lose that body fat and you're going to show off your physique this summer at the beach. And when you take accountability, it's going to prevent you from blaming people for other circumstances. Hope. Hope prevents giving up. When you have faith in yourself, when everyone else has counted you out, when everyone else said that it can't be done, when you still believe and you have that determination to make it happen, then there's no way for you to give up when you have everything on the table, when you have nothing to lose and all to gain. Finally, my last segment, the choice. You could either, 1, play it safe and accept your fate. Whatever's going on in your life right now, the circumstances, your job, your financial situation, your relationship status, everything will either stay the same or be worse, and you'll just be disappointed for the rest of your life. Or you could go with option 2. You could take a risk and you could invest in yourself and dramatically change your life. I know you want this because you're still here. You're still watching this video. And if you really want to change in life, then starting now, you have to take action. If you got any value out of this video, drop a comment down below. If you want fitness coaching, apply for my one-on-one coaching with the link below. God bless.